Hey guys, we are going to talk about Pythagoras' theorem today. So if you watch the other video, you're going to recognize that I like to solve my Pythagoras triangle problems um, visually, more so than just understanding how the formula works. So you can see that on my notes, I already have a whole bunch of squares drawn off my sides. I've got squares off the side of 6 and a square off the side of 10, and then I got a square off the side that's C. And something that we didn't talk about in the other video is how do we name sides if you know angles. So when I have angle A at the top here, I call this side A. That's a really hard to read, but that actually says side A. And here I have angle B, so across the path from it is side B, and this is angle C, so across here is C as well. And when we write our formula, we kind of grew up knowing it's a squared plus b squared equals c squared, but we're going to see in some of our examples that you don't have to use a, b, and c. So anyways, what I think I want you to do in terms of taking down some notes is either write down the formula and put down the numbers that are written, 36 plus 100 equals c squared, or draw the squares. Again, I'm a visual learner. I like to see where the numbers are coming from. And I understand what Pythagoras was saying when he said draw some squares, and the sum of the two little squares always equals the big area. So for our first example, my triangle is 6 and 10. I'm going to find the biggest triangle. I add my two areas together, 136. And then what we found in one of our skills was you take the square root of 136 and tell us then that this length C here must be 11.7. And it's always nice to kind of have triangles drawn where we can see the right angle. So here C is the right angle again. So across from C, I've got my little c. Across from B, I've got my little b. And across from A, I've got my little a. This time I know the big square. I want to find the little square. So in my formula, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. A is the one that I don't know, so that's a squared. My b squared is 14 times 14, so it's 196. And my c is 17 times 17, so it's 289. So instead of adding these two squares this time, I'm going to subtract because I'm not finding the biggest one. I'm finding one of the smaller ones. So I subtract these two numbers. I get 93. So the length of my side is 9.6. And then similarly with my other triangle, this one's called J, K, and L. So this big J, that's a little j. I'm going to solve for little j. This here is a big L, so across from big L is little l. And here is the big K, so across from big K is little k. So my formula this time, it's j squared plus k squared equals L squared. And it equals L squared because L squared is the big square. So j squared is unknown. K squared, which is 18 times 18, is 324. And then L squared, 21 times 21 is 441. Again, I'm subtracting because I want to find the little one. And then square root, and the length of my side is 10.8. So that's how I would do Pythagoras questions. I would draw some squares, and based on the squares, I'm going to solve. Hope that helps, and we'll be in touch soon.